Hey y'all. Oh my gosh. If I edited my videos, I would probably edit that out because literally I just got like a ton of like nervous energy just like bursting through my stomach. Oh man. So I just cut my hair today. Just got a hair cute because it's always cute. And if you're like me, you're a woman who loves to switch up your hairstyle whenever there's something different going on or whenever there's something new going on in your life, or I don't know, it doesn't always necessarily have to be that, but I did feel like my hairstyle that I had before wasn't quite complimenting me, I guess. I mean, I was complimenting me, but I just couldn't deal with the long anymore. I've done a lot of short styles, but never this before, and I cut it myself in this way because I always get these like crazy hairs back here, and my hair is like really curly, so when I have it long and I'm like brushing it and whatever, after a couple of weeks it just gets so like frizzy because all of like the little crazy hairs that are usually back here start coming out of the woodworks, and I don't know where they come from, but now I'm gonna have to get used to this hair swoosh effect. Yeah, I just feel like a new person, and I don't think that I could have gotten here without specifically, purposefully, that's the word I'm looking for, purposefully challenging myself. And you know, like the first challenge that I challenged myself to was being a volunteer in a school for AmeriCorps, and you know, serving in Miami-Dade County where there are a whole bunch of people who have lifestyles that I've never seen or interacted with before. Sorry. I had a big bowl of pasta, so now I'm just like getting the pasta burps. It's probably everything that's coming up from when I started the video, you know, it's just everything's just like coming up. So sorry if I burp more. It's life, everybody burps. So yeah, I just am so appreciative and grateful for the opportunity to serve other people and help other people and not be like the little privileged white girl who comes in and does it for the photo op. Like, actually be there and be in the moment and be enjoying things like trying to get people on my Facebook who know me personally to donate art supplies so that I could start an art club, because there was no art club at the school that I was volunteering at. No art club. Like, why? Where are the children going to learn? So I'm gonna say I'm just a lot, and I'm going to say a lot of ums because this is my first video. So forgive me, but also love me. And I think I really wanted to come on here and say that by challenging myself and by pursuing more challenges and by always trying to reach for that like ideal me, you know, rather than the default me. Default me is like the person who gets up and just does what they have to do. But if there's anything that I have to do, I'm lazy as fuck and I just like sit around and I Netflix and chill, and you know, I don't feed myself until afternoon, and then I end up eating like this big giant bowl of pasta, excuse me, which is kind of what happened today, but really not my fault because somebody else bought the grapes and I brought a bag of grapes to where I was and I went to go sort them into edible and non-edible grapes, and probably only 25% of the grapes were edible, and my grandma stole one of them. So out of the 10 grapes that I got, I really only got to eat like 9. And it's really tough to feed myself appropriately sometimes, but I'm getting better at it, and I forgive myself for not being great at it today because tomorrow's a new day. But yeah, like each day I get up now with a purpose, and I get up now with a mission. You know, I have a little post-it note that's, I'll say, you can see my calendar right here, and there's, oh, you can hardly see it, it's a little pink post-it that has my why, my reason for being, like my thing that keeps me going, my mantra, my mission, why I'm even doing this, talking to you right now, talking to me, but talking to you, because I'm going to share this. Like, this is going to be a sharing moment. And there are a lot of challenges that I've faced that I feel as though they weren't just challenging for the purpose of putting it on my resume. They weren't just challenging for, like, it wasn't like a Devil Wears Prada kind of thing where I like stuck something out for a year because I thought that it would land me a bunch of other job opportunities. I really just did it because I was interested in it, and it was something that sounded intense. It was something that sounded like it was gonna push me to different places, and dark places too, like really uncomfortably dark places. So the last year that I was volunteering, I volunteered 2 years in Miami-Dade County, and the second year was really hard because I was a leader, a manager, basically. I was managing a team of, 10 people, and it was a lot. It was a lot. There were a lot of personalities, and for the most part, it was I had a major learning curve because I'd never dealt with conflict before, and I think one of the biggest issues that I had with conflict was, excuse me, more pasta burps. The main issue that I had with conflict was the conflict that was going on inside of myself. Yeah. You feel that? That's where the inner conflict comes out, and I wanted to say rears its ugly head, but it's only ugly because, I feel like there are different parts of ourselves that we sometimes acknowledge, sometimes don't acknowledge. But even if it's acknowledged and not totally accepted or not integrated into how we are as a person, it's kind of like we put a mask on it, like we don't want to look it right in the face, but we choose the mask that we put on there. Sometimes the mask is denial, sometimes the mask is depression, sometimes the mask is anxiety, sometimes the mask is anger, and I'm like shaking right now. I've been putting a few masks on different aspects of my life. One of them being conflict. I learned that you're either passive or you're aggressive. not much in between. And, you know, passive aggression became my style, my conflict style for handling the people. That's not even, because at the time it felt like it was handling, you know, at the time it felt like that's all I could do was just handle it as it came, as opposed to being more fluidly conscious of my intentions for each interaction, and wanting to convey love and convey respect and convey gratitude and support. And that really got lost in my meanness and my meanness too, because passive aggression is really mean. It's really mean, and it's painful, and it's uncomfortable to receive, and it's even more uncomfortable to recognize within yourself, because you see how it pushes other people away. You see how it makes other people feel, and sometimes it gives you a power over other people. Not a good kind of power. Because nobody wants to like do something out of fear, or do something because of your authority, you know? Nobody wants to just like have their boss tell them, because I said so, you know? Treat them like they're a 10-year-old kid asking why they can't go outside to play after 6 p.m. because I said so. Doesn't really help people understand why they do what they do, or why you make the decisions as a leader that you make. And one of the decisions that I made as a leader this past year was to go deep within and just really try and understand where all of the passive aggression came from. So I'm going to be doing that in another video, because I feel like that is a whole separate topic that I really want to talk about, probably multiple videos. And I also have a lot of resources that I really would like to share, including Lisa A. Romano, life coach, breakthrough life coach. She honestly helped me to reach my breakthrough and understand that I had been conditioned to be the way that I was, and it's not an excuse, but it is a reason why I was that way. And you know, a reason is just like the cause behind something, but it doesn't excuse you from the damage that you do, or the relationships that you break by breaking trust. You know, when you develop relationships with people, there's a level of trust there. There's a level of trust where you are basically saying to somebody, like, you're cool, we have things in common, let's hang out and explore our ideas together. And when you're being passive aggressive, or you're using a conflict style, when you do something that makes somebody else feel hurt and walk away confused and wondering if you're really their friend, if you're really there for them, and you're really actually listening when you say things. Sorry, I'm just so obsessed with this hair right now, but I'm also like in the middle of trying to figure out what is going on. It's like a new game show. What is going on with my hair? It's like the game show that I play in the shower. Where did that bruise come from? Where did that bruise come from? Yeah, I play that all the time. feel like everybody does that once in a while. So how we deal with conflict with people, how we have conversations with people, really helps to build or helps to break their trust. And something that I've learned over the past year, over the past couple of years, with my long-term relationship ending, with my sister who was living with me choosing to move out because I was being a freaking dick to her and taking all of our mutual friends with her. Not that she took them, but they didn't want to be with me. They didn't want to be around me. And, you know, to this day, it still really hurts. And I think about it as like, I feel like I shouldn't be giving them my time because they didn't give me the time of day to see what I was going through, why I was acting that way. And yet, even though it feels as though they still owe me an apology that I haven't received, they're going through their own shit too. And I haven't asked them. I haven't approached them and been like, hey, remember that one time? Sorry, I'm fucking with my hair again. Hey, remember that one time when you like abandoned me? What was going on? You know? What has been going on in your life? What's new in your life? What's something that I can help with and help lighten your load? I haven't asked them that, so it doesn't make me a shitty friend. It just makes me a person who is involved in my own life, same as they are. And it's helped me to realize they don't owe me anything. They don't owe me an apology. Pasta burp. I don't need to continue feeling like every moment that I think about it, I should be telling myself, you need to forgive them. Release. Like, there's none of that. I can't be doing that anymore, because if I were concerned with every single person who I feel like has hurt me, if I were concerned with every single person who I feel like I've hurt, if I were concerned with every little thing that anybody thought about me, I would only be thinking about other people. And I mean, that's what it used to be like. It used to be that I just couldn't be myself because I was thinking about what other people might think. And now I'm gonna say something super serious, because this is something that I have been keeping from people, not because gulp not because it's not because it would affect them negatively, but because the stigma is so negative and so strong. Stigma is a really powerful, it's a really, really powerful tool for keeping people feeling ashamed and feeling sorry for themselves, or even keeping themselves in denial. That was the mask that I put on this problem, was I was in denial. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe that this could happen to a smart girl like me. I didn't want to believe that that I had failed myself as far as how educated I was on the whole topic, I couldn't believe how uneducated I was from the Florida education system. And of course, blame was going everywhere, you know, because I didn't have anybody specific to blame for where I was. I don't know how I got it specifically. I'm saying it out loud now. I have HSV2. I have herpes, which, you know, isn't life-threatening, and it's not the end of the world. But it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable living in a world where, living in a culture, I'm not gonna blame the whole world, or I'm not gonna put that on the whole world, that the whole world's uneducated about it, or the whole world is closed-minded about it. But it is incredibly difficult to navigate in a world where people don't acknowledge what they're going through or accept it once they have acknowledged it. They don't know anything about their bodies or what they do. We clearly have an issue with sex and with being educated about what consent looks like. And what good nutrition looks like, good health looks like. Because a lot of the times it's just skinny people. Good health looks like skinny people. And I'm here to tell you, that's not it. I'm not the only one saying it, but among all the things that we are super uneducated about, we're limited on access to STD and STI prevention, and even more so now that the government is on the side of the white man and not on the side of people of color, not on the side of people of different identities, cultural identities, gender identities, sexual orientations, women. We don't have people on our side. I feel like I haven't had anybody on my side. Because the only sex talk that I ever got from my parents was like, oh gosh, how old were we? I want to say I was around like 10 years old. Maybe 11, because I think my sister was 8 at the time, but I feel like they, maybe older than this, but they sat us down and they were like, so what do you know? Okay, well, let's take it from here. And that was their sex talk. It wasn't really that educational or informative as far as like what a virus is, because they're not educated about it. So how could they educate us? That's the biggest issue. They didn't really open up the conversation ever again. Whenever we would watch movies that had sex scenes, they would have us cover our eyes and cover our faces. So it was a shameful thing. It was something that if it was brought up around our family, or even now that I'm fucking 26, almost 27 years old, that, you know, one of my parents will make like a sexual joke or a sexual innuendo, and they'll look at me and be like, oh, sorry. It just doesn't make for an environment, a space where I could ever feel comfortable or safe coming out this way and saying, I need help. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't even know how I got it. And the biggest fucking pain of it all is realizing that, like, I was in denial for a really long time. I was ashamed. I was really ashamed. Felt so depressed for a while because I was in so much shame. And then the first person that I told about it did not react well. And the first doctor I went to about it did not react well. And like I said, these are reasons, but they're not excuses for not owning it and accepting it. But they did cause me to feel like I wanted to go back in the shell. I wanted to retreat. What's that Pokemon move called? Withdraw, right? I wanted to withdraw. I wanted to boop, boop. Defense. Raise my defense. Because I was so afraid. I am afraid. I'm still afraid. I think on this journey that's challenged me, having all of these people who have served as like mirrors, as like reflections for versions of me, have helped me to go inside and be the person to actually have a conversation with my inner critic. Because honestly, how you talk to yourself is how you talk to other people. And I wasn't talking to myself with very nice words in very good ways. I was really mean to myself, which meant that I was mean to a lot of other people. People I really fucking care about. And we say this as like a normal thing, you know, like the people that you are the worst to, the people that you lash out to are the ones that you're closest to, right? Because you're most comfortable hurting them because you know they'll come back. That's fucking abuse. That's abuse. That's abusive. And it's not just abusive to them, it's abusive to you. Because you're the one who you're abusing. Here first. And then all of the words that you know and all the things that you say to yourself are the things that you start saying to other people, are the things you start thinking about other people. So I looked at my inner critic and I said, you need to meet my inner cheerleader, because my inner cheerleader is awesome. She's a fucking go-getter. She rallies me to do anything, including making this video. And what she says matters most to me, not what other people say. not what other people feel about me or how they feel when I speak my truth in the kindest, most loving way that I can think of at the time. It's not always good, but it's usually good enough to get across my boundaries. And still, people are gonna react however they're gonna react, so pasta burp. Y'all should be taking shots by now every time I have a pasta burp. Oh, I feel like I can stretch now that I got it off my back. Oh, you hear all those cracks? Ooh, I did yoga today. Yeah, look at this. Save the drama for your llama. Well, I'll just call you my llama, because here it is. Here's my drama. All the tears coming down my face. I think this is a good start. I think this is a good first step. It took me a long time to get here. But now that I'm here, I'm not gonna shy away. I'm gonna be 100% honest and transparent. I'm gonna share even the hardest parts about me. Why? Because I want to provide other people with opportunities for healing. I know there are 1 out of 3 people. I'm holding my ring on my finger because I'm like so anxious that I'm like, it's like a fidget spinner, you know, like I sit here and I just like fucking fidget. 1 out of 3 numbers. 1 out of 3 people has herpes, allegedly. So where are they at? Where are they all? Are they like me and they're wearing masks? Are they wearing masks of anger or depression or denial? Are they in denial and they're possibly going around and spreading it? You know, it's a sexual health epidemic. And I feel like this conversation needs to be had with all of the brave women coming out about their sexual assault and standing up for what they believe in. It really makes me feel like I have a voice, and like at this moment in time there is a chance that other people will connect to this and will connect to the experience of wearing a mask and feeling like you're controlled by your conditioning, feeling like you're not in control of yourself because only what you've learned from your upbringing is all you have. And like I said, the adults in our world who were teaching us were uneducated too. So we either have had to educate ourselves or we need to start educating ourselves now. We need to start making this a big deal. And it starts one person at a time. I don't think there's any way that we're going to be able to make it if we aren't able to acknowledge what we're going through, acknowledge 100% of what we can do with our minds and our bodies, and then accept it, integrate it into the new reality, integrate it into our old reality, so we can have a new reality where people understand. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to go into it because this is just another day, another video. There are certain things that you can't do to people, and sometimes you only learn what you don't like by experiencing it. So that's my message for today. Is I cut my hair because I'm bringing balance into my life. I'm starting to balance the light parts, the parts that I love about myself, the parts that other people love about me, the parts that I know are the strongest, and the parts that I've seen as the darkest, that I have labeled as negative, that I've put masks on to make them look like monsters, to make them look like the monsters that they felt like, because it felt like it was in my dreams. It felt like it was behind me, wherever I looked, wherever I turned. I'm taking the masks off, and I'm reintroducing myself to every part of my inner me. Ooh. And I want to share this so that if you're watching and you're STI positive and you're feeling like you've had to hide, if you haven't been positive about your body, if you've always looked at your body as just skin and bones that you have to drag around, if you've ever seen your mind and your emotions as a trap, a place where you can get stuck, defenseless, helpless, really helpless, you're not alone. You're not helpless. There is help. Your body is beautiful and amazing. It carries around your spirit. It carries around your beautiful heart, which wants to be loved and deserves to be loved. And I've been on a path for self-compassion for a while now, and I hope to start inviting other people to join me and to walk with me on this path, because there's only been good in it. Even sharing this, no matter what happens or what people say, I know that it is ultimately a good. It is a net positive. Pasta burp number 12, 13, 14. This is what balance looks like. The feminine and the masculine, the yin and the yang. The presence and the absence of light. And I'm so appreciative of you for watching. thank you so much for listening to the first few minutes of babble as I prepared myself and garnered my strength to say what I needed to say. I honestly didn't know that I was going to share that in my first video, but just felt like it needed to be said. I felt like it needed to come off my chest. There are only like 5 other people that I've told. And it's time to stop the stigma. It's time to stop the stigma and start loving ourselves and having compassion for what we're going through and celebrating not only our successes but also our struggles, because they make us stronger. And as a sensitive individual, I know I needed that. I needed to be stronger. I needed to go through this in order to get to the net positive. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I love you. If somebody hasn't told you I love you today, I love you, and I wish you all of the vibrant health and happiness that you fucking deserve. Bye, new best friend.